Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we are diving straight into jQuery. If you've ever looked at a highly interactive web page and wondered exactly how it comes together under the hood, well, we're going to map that all out for you. We're charting a clear path to mastering jQuery, starting with the exact prerequisites you need before you write a single line of code and culminating in what we call the Ninja Bus roadmap. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive into this and lay out our exact flight plan for today's briefing. We'll be hitting 1. The essential prerequisites. 2. Defining jQuery. 3. The Ninja Bus roadmap. 4. Events and animations. And finally, 5. The power of plugins.
Starting with Section 1, the essential prerequisites. Consider this our crucial inventory check of your skills before we launch into the actual coding.
All right, so we've got a 3-step prerequisite ladder here. Step 1 is HTML. Step 2 covers your JavaScript basics. And Step 3 is CSS selectors. Now, why HTML first? Because jQuery is entirely built around manipulating the document object model, or DOM. If you don't have a solid HTML structure in place, you'd basically be trying to interact with absolutely nothing.
Moving on to Step 2, let's talk about the JavaScript basics you need. Take a breath here, because you really don't need to know tons of JavaScript to get moving. You just need a grip on the core basics: loops, variables, if statements, and the different types of data. That's pretty much it. And the reason is simple. The exact same rules apply in jQuery as they do in standard JavaScript.
And rounding out the prerequisites at Step 3, CSS selectors. Look, you absolutely do not need to be a CSS wizard, but you absolutely must know how to target specific page content. In jQuery, we are constantly targeting the HTML we intend to change, so knowing your selectors makes working with the DOM just so much easier.
Which brings us to Section 2, defining jQuery. We need to make sure we know exactly what primary vehicle we're driving for this journey.
So the crucial point is this. jQuery is a JavaScript library that enhances JavaScript. It is emphatically not a standalone language on its own. There's a huge myth out there that it's a separate language, and we need to bust that right now. It simply takes the JavaScript you already know and supercharges it, making your workflow faster and much more intuitive.
All right, Section 3, the Ninja Bus roadmap. Now that we have our tools checked, let's look at the highly structured roadmap we'll be following for this learning journey.
Now you are probably wondering about that name. As the original course creator put it, I thought the word syllabus made me sound too much like a college lecturer, so I went for Ninja Bus instead. I mean, how great is that? It injects a bit of fun and sets this great, non-stuffy tone for our mission briefing. We aren't here for a dry lecture, we're here to build cool stuff.
So here is our actual Ninja Bus route. Phase 1 is learning to target the DOM. Once you have a lock, Phase 2 is where we interact with that HTML. Phase 3 takes us into handling events, and finally, Phase 4 is where we create animations. It's a fantastic visual track from basic targeting all the way to complex, flashy interactions. Let's quickly zoom in on Phase 2 for a second. When we say interacting with content, we specifically mean adding, removing, or changing the HTML structure. But, and this is the key takeaway, you only do that after you have successfully targeted it using those CSS selectors. Targeting always comes first. Moving along to Section 4, Events and Animations. Think of this as the engine upgrade phase of our roadmap, where we build dynamic user interactions. First up is event handling. When you compare vanilla JavaScript directly with jQuery event handling, it's basically night and day. jQuery handles events like clicks, hovers, all of that so much easier. It's widely considered a massive improvement over vanilla JavaScript because it turns complex listening logic into clean, simple code. And this brilliantly illustrates the other side of this phase, animations. jQuery makes it incredibly easy to include animations like sliding things from left to right, building custom sliders, and creating smooth faders. It's real visual power at your fingertips, letting you add dynamic effects without needing a degree in advanced math. Finally, Section 5, the power of plugins. This is the final payload of our journey where we look at leveraging real-world examples and powerful extensions.
Think of plugins as powerful additions to jQuery that you've dropped right into your JavaScript code. Their entire purpose? To make your life easier. Instead of reinventing the wheel, a plugin performs a highly specific function for you right out of the box. They are absolute game changers for streamlining your workflow and solving real-world problems fast.
So, let's look at where we stand. We've done the inventory check on your HTML, JavaScript, and CSS prerequisites. We've defined exactly what jQuery is,
and you have the complete NinjaBus roadmap guiding through events, animations, and plugins. The path is set. So the only question left to ask is, are you ready to manipulate the DOM?